Hey, today we're going to make 5 sheet pan chicken recipes that are great for lunch and dinner for the whole family, so let's just jump right into it. The first recipe is chicken with sweet potatoes, apples and Brussels sprouts. We're going to start by getting a bowl and adding 2 tablespoons of olive oil to it. Then I'm going to get 6 cloves of garlic, peel them and just press them in with a garlic press. Then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, half a teaspoon of sea salt and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. We then want to add 4 skinless boneless chicken breasts into the mixture and just rub it into them. We want to marinate the chicken for around 2 hours in total. The next thing I'm going to do is get 4 cups of Brussels sprouts and just cut them in half. Take your time to do that. And then I'm going to get 1 large sweet potato, nicely peel it. It takes some time, and then we want to actually cut it. We're gonna cut it in 1/2 inch cubes so that it's good in the oven. I'm then going to get 2 red onions, peel them and just cut them into chunks. You don't really need to do it too much. It's pretty easy with this one. And then take 2 medium apples. You don't need to peel them. We just want to actually slice them into 1-inch pieces. Obviously don't forget to core them so that we remove the seeds. We're going to pop all the vegetables on a large baking sheet just like that. Start with the Brussels sprouts, then sweet potato, then red onions, then apples. We're going to drizzle the vegetables with 1 tablespoon of olive oil, half a teaspoon of sea salt and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Then toss to coat them well in the oil so they bake well in the oven. We're going to then bake them in the oven at 425 Fahrenheit degrees for 15 minutes. Once the 15 minutes are up, I'm going to remove them from the oven, toss them a little bit, and then I'm going to place the chicken breast on top of the veggies. You then want to pop it back into the oven and cook for another 20 to 22 minutes until the chicken is fully cooked. The veggies will be caramelized and they're so yummy when that happens. Finally, get some fresh parsley, chop it up and just sprinkle it all over the sheet pan. That's it, our sheet pan dinner is done. It's so good, so yummy, so delicious, so nutritious. The kids will love it. The next recipe is sheet pan chicken fajitas. First of all, we're going to get a little bowl and add in 2 teaspoons of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon of cumin, 1 teaspoon of salt, and half a teaspoon of black pepper. And finally, I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of olive oil and mix all of them together as well as we can. I'm then going to get a baking sheet and actually just oil it with a brush. You can also spray the oil, it doesn't matter. I'm going to then get 1.5 pounds of chicken breasts, boneless and skinless, and we're going to cut them into strips. Take your time to do that and then just pop them onto the baking sheet. We then want to cover them with the mix of the spices and oil we just made, and we want to coat them with the spices, so just toss in the baking sheet. The next thing you want to do is get 3 bell peppers, whatever colors you like, and just cut them into strips. Take your time to do that. You'll have to deseed them as well. Use whatever method you want to cut them up. I'm then going to get 1 medium white onion, nicely peel it and then just slice it up. I'm actually not too careful with this. It doesn't really matter how thick the slices are. We're then going to add in the bell peppers and white onions into the sheet pan and toss to combine so that the spices coat the veggies too. I'm now going to pop this baking sheet into the oven and cook for 20 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit degrees. Finally, when it's ready, we're going to get 1 lime and cut it in half and just juice it all over the chicken fajitas. And of course, we're going to get fresh cilantro and just chop it up and sprinkle it all over the sheet pan. You're gonna want to serve this in tortillas. I'm using corn shells. They are delicious and they taste so good in them. This recipe is so good when you're craving for Mexican cuisine but want something quick and relatively easy. So enjoy! Still watching this video, please smash that like button and click that subscribe button to help us grow. The next recipe is Greek sheet pan chicken dinner. I'm going to start by getting 1 pound of chicken breasts and I'm just going to dice them nicely and add them to a large sheet pan. I'm then going to get 1 red bell pepper and just dice it, add it in, 1 green bell pepper, dice it, add it in, and 1 yellow bell pepper and dice it and add it in. Then I'll take 1 nice zucchini and just nicely slice it, add it to the sheet pan. Get a red onion, peel it first, and then slice it. We're going to top all these veggies in the sheet pan with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm then going to get 2 lemons and just cut them in half and squeeze all the juice out of them, so it's around 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We're then going to top it all up with 6 cloves of garlic because we're going to peel them first and then just press them in easily. Then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of oregano, 1 tablespoon of dried parsley, half a teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 of a teaspoon of black pepper. Now use the sheet pan and just toss all the ingredients together so that the spices cover everything, the chicken, the veggies. When it's all well combined, we're going to pop it into the oven for 20 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit degrees until the chicken is fully cooked. Once it's ready and cooked, we're going to take the sheet pan out, and I'm going to actually get 1/4 of a cup of feta cheese and just crumble it all over the sheet pan. This Greek sheet pan dinner is so delicious. It will bring the Greek flavors into your kitchen, and it's just so easy to make, you know? So give it a try. Now let's make lemon chicken thighs. For this one, we're actually going to take our skillets out and add in 3 tablespoons of olive oil into it. I'm going to then heat it up to medium-high heat, okay? Then we're going to take 6 chicken thighs that have bones and skin on, and we're going to sprinkle half a teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of black pepper all over them. We're then going to cook them on this high-medium heat for 5 minutes. I'm then going to flip them and cook them for another 2 minutes or so. Once you see that the chicken thighs are kind of browned, you want to remove the skillet from the heat completely. And then I'm going to pop them onto the baking sheet with all the oil. Then I'm going to take 1.5 pounds of sweet potatoes. We're going to peel them and then just cut them into 1-inch cubes. Take your time to do that because sweet potatoes are hard to cut. We know that. We're going to put the sweet potatoes into the baking sheet. Then take 1 lemon and just cut it in half. And then we're going to squeeze out the lemon juice out of the lemon. Finally, take 10 cloves of garlic, peel them, and just press them into the sheet pan all over the food. Finally, I'm just going to toss everything with a spatula. If the oil is no longer hot, you can even use your own hands, okay? Now pop this chicken into the oven for 30 minutes at 425 Fahrenheit degrees, okay? And once the chicken is fully cooked, we can take it out and we'll take fresh parsley, nicely chop it, and just sprinkle it all over the sheet pan. And that's it. Our lemon chicken thighs are done. They're so good, so yummy. It's highly nutritious meal. So have fun making it. It's pretty easy, isn't it? The last but not least is sweet chili chicken sheet pan dinner. I know that people love sweet chili, so I wanted to make this one. We're going to start with sauce first, okay? We're going to add 2 tablespoons of sesame oil to a bowl and then 3 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. I'm using low carb option. Then I'm going to get my limes, cut them in half, and of course squeeze out 2 tablespoons of fresh lime juice. Then get your garlic cloves, peel them, and press 2 of them into the sauce. And of course we're going to peel ginger and just grate it in, so we have half a teaspoon of ginger in total. Now you want to mix all the ingredients to form this little sauce that we will love. Of course. The next step is to get another bigger bowl and add in our chicken, but first we have to cut it into cubes of 1 inch. They're so nice. Add them into the bowl and of course cover with 1/3 of a cup of the sauce we just made. We want to stir the chicken to coat it completely so it marinates well, okay? Let it sit for a couple minutes before you do that, and then we're going to get our baking sheets out, oil them, and add in the chicken we just marinated. You then want to get some broccoli and cut it so that we have 4 cups of broccoli florets. The fresh broccoli is nice to use, but you can also use frozen broccoli florets. That's absolutely fine. Add the broccoli into the baking sheet and then get 2 red bell peppers and nicely deseed them and dice them. Add them into the baking sheet as well. I'm going to drizzle the remaining sauce all over my veggies, and we're going to bake this in the oven for 15 minutes at 400 Fahrenheit degrees, so that's pretty quick. Once the meal is finished, we're then going to sprinkle 2 teaspoons of sesame seeds all over the sheet pan and then add in 1/2 of a cup of cilantro leaves. Actually, it could be even less than that. Half a cup is a lot, to be honest. I use, I think, 1/4 in total. And then we're going to get 1 lime and cut it into 4 veggies and just leave them on top of the sheet pan. When I'm eating the meal, I'm going to squeeze out that lemon juice out of these veggies all over the meal, and I'm just gonna eat it like that. It's so good. That's it. Our sweet chili chicken is done. It's yummy, it's refreshing, it's sweet. What else do you need, you know? So I hope you'll like these sheet pan chicken dinners or even lunches. If you love this video, please like and subscribe. For more recipes, go to allnutritious.com. Either way, have a lovely day, eat healthy, and have fun cooking.